Welcome back to another video. Today we have a special one. As you might already know, I like doing these Bellingcat challenges where I try to find where a photo was taken or answer some other related questions. And a while ago, Bellingcat team reached out to me, offered to make a challenge of my own, and here we are. As you can see on your screen, we have a challenge of my own, background check with photos of me. If you want to give this challenge a go for yourself, I will leave a link in the description and a pinned comment. Go check it out. See how you do. Can you find me? But in this video, I will be showing the images and I will be kind of explaining my thought process, how I thought people might be able to find them. On Bellingcat's Discord, I've seen lots of interesting ways people have managed to answer the questions, but let's see. Let's start with the first one, which should be the easiest one of them all. Sheep happens when your holiday photo overshares. So this is the photo. A single holiday snapshot can often reveal more than the subject intended. Look beyond the obvious to discover the location and mode of transport I meant to keep private. What is the name of the ship that brought me here? So that is the question. What is the name of the ship that brought me here? So let's open up the image. Here I am, as you can see. And well, people who have followed me probably already know where I have traveled, but let's assume that we have no idea where I've been, right? So what are the clues here? The clue here is that this lady's trolley here. You can barely read Abu Dhabi there. That is a bit of a clue. Well, obviously my outfit is a bit of a clue. You can also go and find the camel online, which will reveal that this is in Abu Dhabi terminal. Indeed, it is in Abu Dhabi. But how can we find what boat it is, huh? Right? You might be asking. Well, if we go to look for Abu Dhabi boat terminal. Abu Dhabi cruise terminal. Which one is the best side? I don't know. Let's go for this one. Abu Dhabi cruise terminal. Did they have the list here? No. I know on one website they had ships. Let's see. This one maybe. Arrivals. Okay, yeah, here we go. We have a bunch of ships that arrive in this terminal, that leave this terminal. And yeah, there aren't that many different ones. The same ones just going round and round pretty much. And as you can see, we have a bunch here. Eurybia, Celestial Journey, Mein Schiff. But the unique thing about the ship in particular, if we go for the first one, which happens to be the right one, is this pattern on the side. This very interesting, unique pattern with the different sea life, which you might not have realized. That's the same pattern that I have in the background. That is the ship. So that's the big giveaway that gives away the ship, is this unique pattern in the background. So the answer is indeed MSC Eurybia. So if we type this one in here in the solution, here we go. That is the correct answer indeed. Well, alright, let's move on to the next one. On the right track. More than a winter selfie. Can you track me down? I took this selfie on a cold day while traveling. Hidden throughout are a few details that give away my location. With a bit of attention, it's possible to narrow us down to a very specific area. What is the name of this neighborhood that I am in? Here, there were, I think, 2 ways to figure this out that I thought of, but people have figured out more since. It's been really fun to see how people managed to go through these images. If you want to join the community as well, I will leave a link to Bellingcat's Discord and also to my own Discord. Join the community there. We have lots of great people talking about things. So the first clue, if you don't know who I am, there are some flags on my outfit here, a Swedish and a Latvian flag. It does look very Austrian. Someone was sure that it was Austrian on Discord, but in real life, it's very clearly a Latvian one. Here you go. Definitely Latvian, but I can see why someone might have mixed it up with Austrian. But I'm standing clearly right next to railroad tracks, right? So somewhere near a railroad. That already narrows it down quite a bit. There is a water tower in the background here. And there is a store here. And a pedestrian crossing here. So quite a few clues. So one way to do this that I thought of was using overpass turbo, which I've used in other Bellingcat videos before. If you haven't seen them, I will leave an info card up there. The way this tool works is that we give it a query that I will explain in a second, and it uses OpenStreetMap data to then look for these things that we are asking for. So in this sample query, you could have used a different one, but this is how I imagined it. So first we find grocery stores that we saw there in the background. Then you could find water towers that are near grocery stores within 300 meters. And then you find train stations that are near these water towers. So all these three things together. And if you run this query, it should pretty quickly return a few results. Here we go. And yeah, as you can see, 3 results in Latvia. Really not that many. And the correct one is this one, in Slovakia. And that is the right answer. I was right here. So if we open up a street view, so here is that train station that I was at. And then if we like from somewhere here. So yeah, there is that water tower. Here is that store. And yeah, I was pretty much somewhere there. That was one of the ways. Another way you could have approached this. Just search for, if you figure out it is Latvia, then you could have searched for grocery shop Latvia. There aren't that many different brands. Let's add logo. And here it's literally the first option. Citro. It is a pretty small brand. So if we go to Citro, and then look at what stores, where are their stores, and then you could have like searched for the stores that are near train stations. A bit more effort than the first option, but well, we can see here is that store right there. So in this case, the answer is Slovakia. Next one. Oh, this one. This one was a tricky one, all right. Wait, why is it not showing the photo? Let's refresh. Here we go. Royal Company, Crowns, Carvings, and Company. Carving out some time for a selfie. During my recent Euro trip, I did a lot of sightseeing and wandering around. This statue looked really cool. It does, doesn't it? So I took a quick selfie with it. But this royal figure is less anonymous than I thought. What is the name of this street, the street behind me? Alright, let's open up the image and then I'm gonna tell you a little bit. So as you know, if you have followed me, you might have known where this is. But let's assume, again, we have no idea. The way I had imagined this can be solved was... I thought it was really tricky. Well, I mean, it was tricky. People struggled with this one. But you zoom in on the sign, you can't fully read it, but you can kind of read some letters. It says Kaz something Wielki or something like that. So if you go to Google, King Kaz Wielki, So basically, you stumble upon Casimir III the Great. Casimir III Wielki, which is a Polish king, right? However, the interesting thing is that I don't think there are any photos of this king online. I could not find anyone. So if you're using reverse image search, you cannot find him, which is why I love this image. So it's not easy to find even with reverse image search or Google Lens or anything like that. So the way I managed to find it, because I checked that all these images were findable, obviously, before submitting them to Bellingcat. I was searching for something like, so once you figure it is Polish, it's a Polish king, so it should be somewhere in Poland, right? So Poland wooden statue king. Let's see. Does that help? So maybe we should add carving. Okay, no, this is good. So we cannot find the exact statue, but as you can see, some of these statues look quite like similar style. Not exactly the same statue, kind of similar carvings, like this guy. We have 2 images of him. So if you open up that, wherever that is, no, that's a different one. Here, this one. Block. So we find out it's Elk City. A really small city that I indeed have visited, if you have followed me. So Elk City. And once we go to Elk, Poland, here it is. Pretty close to Lithuanian border there. And right near the promenade along the waterfront, there are a lot of these wooden statues. So then the goal was to pretty much find where along the promenade it was exactly. So here we can see like there's some wooden statue here already of a different king or queen. But here we need to use the background. What we had in the background, we had this some sort of like a massage salon or something. And use the architecture. Where exactly was it? Or was it more here? Oh, I think it was somewhere down here, wasn't it? Yeah, here we see that studio behind us with that same window. And yeah, here we are. And that's a different queen or king, and this is the one. This is the one that you can kind of see from the big crown. That's the one. However, there was another way. Another way which people found out pretty quickly how you could have found it. The thing was that you can kind of see the back plate of this car here. Which I didn't think much of it. I did not know that you can use plates in Poland to find out the region, but apparently you can. Apparently you can, which is something I learned. So, Poland car plates. Vehicle registration plates of Poland. So if we visit this website, here you can see we have this wonderful map where different regions, different voivodeships have different starting letter of the license plates. And in the image, you can pretty clearly see that this plate starts with N, N-E-L. And if you go to that voivodeship on the map, then up here, then, I mean, the city of Elk. It's not that hard to spot because of the first letters, right? So that's another way. I guess this city maybe also is in that voivodeship, so maybe you could have checked that one too. But that's another way that people did find the city. Because it is a very small city, and if you don't notice the plate, I think it's really, really tricky to find. And what was the question? The street name, right? So Nadjeziorna, I believe, should be the answer. So what is the name of the street behind me? It is Nadjeziorna. Next one was an interesting one. Okay, we need to refresh again. But so no room for error. I have got reservations about this place. Some time for self-reflection. This one really reveals too much. I took this photo late at night from my hotel room to share the view. What could go wrong, right? Turns out there is more in the frame than I realized. What is the name of my hotel? I can reveal that initially the challenge was gonna be harder. But some people struggled with this one already, so maybe it's good that it wasn't harder. But if you're up for a harder challenge, stay tuned. I'll tell you more about it in a bit. But so we have this photo here. Well, as you know, I visit Sweden quite often, so I can reveal it is Sweden. But if you don't know it is Sweden, you can see this chevron here, blue and white with this sign. These blue and white chevrons are very common in like Finland, Sweden. Well, not really chevrons, but like those signposts. And also this sign. You see these signs, this P with those other smaller signs underneath all over Sweden. So if you know your signs, though those signs are kind of a giveaway. If you don't know the signs, then it is trickier. You're gonna kind of rely on the architecture. Maybe go to Plunkett to search for those signs. See if you can find them. But yeah, once you figure out this is Sweden based on those signs, I thought you can pretty... I think you can pretty quickly find this hotel in Google. So let's try Sweden. I don't remember the exact search phrase that I used, but let's try Sweden hotel colorful carpet and walls. I don't know, will that find anything or not, but let's see. No. Maybe just Sweden colorful carpet. Or maybe Stockholm, not Sweden. Mottled, maybe. Mottled carpet. This is similar, but no. That carpet is different. Oh, here we go. Okay, using Bing, we got better results this time. Here we go. Motel L with the same colorful carpet. So it depends what's your exact search query, which browser search engine you use. But here we get some of the same carpet. And here we find out it's Motel L. Motel L is the name. But we need to find out which one, because there are a bunch, right? So here is where the scene itself comes in. It's not loading. Okay, let's search for Motel L Stockholm. Motel L Stockholm. And. So we have 3 here on their website. Motel L Älvsjö, Motel L Hammarby Hårstad, and Motel L Lund. If I was searching for it, actually, I would obviously go check them all, but I can tell you that it is Motel L Hammarby Hårstad. So that is the answer. A bit harder than the previous ones, I would say, probably. But my initial plan was to make it even harder. So if you are up for an extra challenge, my initial question would have been, what is the number of the room that I am in? Because you can figure it out with some deduction. Obviously, don't go calling hotels or anything, but you can figure it out with some deduction. And if you want to give it a go, let me know in the comments. What is your guess? After a while, I will edit it in the pinned comment. But yeah, let me know in the comments. What do you think this hotel room might be if you're up for an extra challenge? But yes, so that was the 4th one. Another final one, Cold Case. I'm not sure why the photos aren't showing without refreshing, but here we go. Get ready for a chilling revelation. Can you stay cool under pressure? I love ice cream, very much so, but this time it's my downfall. At first glance, it doesn't look like much, but can you find me one last time? What is the name of the nearby grocery store where I bought this ice cream? Well, as you might have known, I did release a video from Korea, but even if you haven't seen it, as always, you gotta assume that people have no idea who I am and where I've been, right? You can see Korean language. You can see Korean language on this ice cream with some of those stripes and circles. That's very much Korean language. From the people on Bellingcat's Discord, I saw they were searching the type of ice cream. They figured out what ice cream it was. Some were kind of checking which chains sell this type of ice cream, and then they were guessing the biggest ones, and they found it that way. But the way I had imagined it is that, well, you figure out it is Korean from the language that you see here, and then the big clue is the background. Right, it's a very colorful background, which is often overlooked, because I didn't see many people talking about the background on Bellingcat Discord. Interestingly enough, everyone was really focusing on the ice cream itself. So if we search for South Korea colorful street, I believe something like that should bring it up here. Literally the second result here. The Seoul convenience stores fighting loneliness. Well, that's a whole different topic, but here you can see a very colorful street. Similar colors, right? And I can tell you, yeah, that is that street. And it is in Seoul, the capital. The interesting thing about this one is that in Street View, it's an old coverage there. Where exactly was it? Was it Hongdae? Hongdae Street? Yes, that's the one. Yeah, Hongdae. And yeah, there is that colorful street. But yeah, here you can see it from the satellite view. Very colorful, very beautiful. But if you go on a street view, it's an old coverage from 2018. So it has changed quite a lot. So the trick here was to look for the patterns, because it is a very distinct painting. It's very unique all the way through. So what you're looking for here is for these patterns, these blue, yellow, white, yellow, blue, these arrows, these black and white stripes. Let me see if I can find it now. It looks like in Google's coverage, it's really hard to tell, because their South Korea quality is not the greatest. But the good thing is that South Korea has their own maps. If you visited South Korea, you will know that they use their own maps, which is also the reason why the Street View in Google Street View in South Korea is so wonky and patchy. And so yes, so let's use their own map. Hongdae Street. By the way, if you want to check out my video of vlogging me visiting South Korea in real life, go check out the top right corner, the info card. It was a really, really fun trip. I think you will enjoy the video. But anyways, here is that street. And as you can see, the quality is much better than here, right? And here we can also see the color is better. And here we can see these stripes. White, black, white. Can't really see the red because it's so small, but the light blue, beige, dark blue. So that same pattern that we have here in the background. And so what store is there? So if you check these icons nearby, only one of them is a grocery store. It's this one. And it is 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven is where I bought this ice cream. So if you go here, type in 7-Eleven. Boom. That is the correct answer. It's been really fun to see how people have managed to get to the solutions on Discord. But let me know in the comments, what was if you have done these challenges, what was the way you got to the solutions, and try to do that extra hard extra challenge for that fourth one. What do you think is the room number? But yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you have any feedback about these locations, let me know. Did you like them? Did you think they're too hard, too easy? Let me know all of that in the comments, and on the right side there will be some more Bellingcat challenges that I tried to solve. Thank you very much for watching. A big thanks to all my patrons and YouTube members for making this channel possible.